Yo, welcome to Midconvo, episode 6. Back at it again. This week, now I'm getting a little more comfortable doing this. So this week, I went out with my boy Timmy. We got his hair dyed. He got his hair dyed. It was like blonde or something. Maybe it was decent, but anyway, my friend Nick was like, yeah, I'm going to hook it up and turn it silver or gray or slate or something. I don't know. Anyway, said he would hook it up. So we went out last night and, we hooked up with, my brave companion, Nicholas the Knife on, at Nicholas the Knife, Nick DeMayo. I met him through Grayscale on Warped Tour. They had him come out. He cuts all their hair. He does an amazing job. He makes them look good. I figured, hey, I want to look good. So I started going to Nick for haircuts, and I found a lot more than just a haircut. He's a great friend, just a sweet guy in general. Yeah, I could go on. I don't even know which stories would be appropriate, but anyway, I was talking with him last night we're taping him, doing his craft, dyeing Timmy's hair back, and I was thinking about it, I was like, because I want to do something where I ask other people about them, and I've been trying to hook up like a podcast with some of the people that listen to us, and it'll happen. But I know with him, he can talk, and he's got the gift of gab, and just a very entertaining guy, and does a lot of cool stuff. So I'm gonna get him on some sort of recording. We're gonna do a podcast, something, I don't know, but he needs to tell stories. You got to hear the stories. He's good, very good. Anyway, that's Nicholas DeMayo. At Nicholas the Knife on social media, I guess Instagram, I think mainly. He's a hair stylist, hair extraordinaire, a hair artiste. He's a beast. He's one of those people that really understands the science of what he does. And it reminds me of Taylor Larson, who produced Harmony. He's one of those super genius dudes that really, he really gets like why sound waves do what they do, like why they react to stuff. And it's cool. I learned a lot recording that album with Taylor. Anyway, what should we talk about? I'll just go relevant. I'm like, I was out with Timmy last night. Timmy's one of my best friends, for the record. I know you probably always see him like hanging out in like the video, whatever we post or whatever. And Tim's just one of my best friends. I've spent the past 2 years just probably 8 hours to 10 hours a day with Tim, and he's just a character. He's like it's funny. He'll be like, yeah, it's awesome that you can put up with me for this long. I'm like, dude, you're my speed. Like, it's cool sometimes, because I'm the kind of guy, too, where I'm like, I don't think anyone can tolerate me for a long period of time. And it's funny to hear, he feels the same way about himself. And it's just funny because, we click up like two puzzle pieces. It's just like, couldn't be more different in some ways, but the values are the same. We value a lot of the same things. One of the ones we got into last night was open-mindedness. We value open-mindedness. The ability to, to be like, because we're also very opinionated, but opinionated mixed with open-mindedness is not a bad combination to have. Like, I like feeling strong about my beliefs, and at the same time, I like being open to being educated in a new way. Daily or weekly, momentarily. I'm fine with having a hard idea about how life works, being educated by someone who confidently like articulates something to me, and allowing it to like, like I can like adopt it, I can adopt part of the idea, whatever, I can change my whole idea, but I'm not too proud to be like, yeah. Yeah, that's actually 100% true. I didn't know what I was talking about before, and that's fine. That's a good place to be. If every, let's play it out. Let's play it out like if everybody was like that, I think we would connect more easily as a society as a whole. If everybody was just like, yeah, yeah, actually, yeah, that's actually true, or there's a nugget of truth to that, or I can respect that. Um, me and Tim often talk about friends of ours that don't necessarily have open mindedness, and it's really when you play the tape out on any disconnecting character trait, like it's as simple as that. It's people end up alone and isolated, man. And like, we're like 30. I'm 30, Timmy's 32. Like we have adult friends that and it's very typical for like people in their 30s and later, like your parents. Like um they kind of get like a very it's like they just hang out alone, or they end up having kids, whatever, but like some people they just hang out alone. It's like I don't know, maybe some people value that, but to some extent, like I love having like a booming social life. I love dropping in on Nick on a Tuesday night. He ended up making us like steak and potatoes. We got like some hair. He did some hair stuff for Timmy, and then we're BSing and different opinions too. I loved it. That I think we got on the open mindedness topic just because Nick's a fun one. Nick's a well adapted adult, and so is Timmy. And I'd like to think that I am. And like we disagree on some stuff. We disagree on like here's a goofy one like Gary Vaynerchuk. Like I love Gary Vaynerchuk. Nick probably hates him. I don't really know. I don't want to put like full blown words in his mouth. But like, he's not a fan, right? But it was just like fun. It was like I heard that out and like I couldn't agree more with his points, And that's the truth. That's where the open mindedness is, where it's just like I couldn't agree more with the points. I think the guy is absolutely obnoxious. I don't know if he's actually provided me any tangible value. I listen to him for like the pep rally, rah 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 of it. It gets me going. It gets me to do a Midconvo vlog. It pushes me. But stuff like that, where it's like I love being around people that just like aren't hard pan to anything. Because here's how it works. Listen, people either are quiet about their opinions and do the people pleasing in person. We were talking about this last night. They're quiet about their opinions. They'll kind of be malleable in conversation because that's good. That's a good just like quality to have, right? To be able to roll with the conversation, and then walk away and never talk to you again or kind of cut you out, right? Or there's a person that can say their opinion, like hold up their opinion in conversation, and you hold yours up. And, the two of you can kind of swap the whys of why you're there. And a lot of that is pretty humanizing because you can find out, like, oh, yeah, underneath it all, we actually fundamentally agree. It's just our information is slightly different. And, we believe that there's a different route to get where we're going. But we want to go to a pretty similar place, like when you break it down. And that's why I'm often talking about semantics and language. I think of the word semantics 80 times a day. I think that'll be the name of our next album, Semantics, because I think it's funny how much language is something that really complicates. Like animals don't have language, and because of it, they don't. Anyway, I'm not going into all that, but anyway, what I'm saying is. I'll have arguments with Blake that aren't even arguments. I'll put it that way. Blake's one of my best friends. I will have these things with Blake where we're both like heated, or annoyed or peeved, whatever, and we're literally saying the same exact thing just in a different way because he and I communicate so differently, right? but it's semantics. It really is semantics. And it's it divides us. It momentarily divides us, and luckily, we're best friends, and we usually have people around us that are like, "Yo, you two idiots, you're saying the same thing with different words," and yeah, it's funny when I blow that up and scale it. It just reminds me of a lot of the simplicity of the divisiveness in like our country and our world. It's just like we get caught up. I was talking with somebody yesterday too. I was talking about mainstream media. And I don't go in on this a lot, but you're probably going to hear me go in on this a lot. I'm a person who would advocate for everyone to disengage with mainstream media. We buy into it when we go on, and and I'm not even going to put myself in that way, but I will say, like, when we participate in like the narratives of mainstream media, like that's us playing into the exact system that everybody's talking about needs to change. It's like, no, that's where it is. On the individual level, when we engage with that shit, we are buying a narrative of one party or the other. And it probably all comes down to one big party at the top. I think part of the game is probably just the like the whole us getting yeah, I think a big part of the game is just us. I think they want us to be divided. I think it makes it. I think it makes us more manageable. It's like a divided we fall thing. It's like divided we're weak. As people, like we're all people. We're all flawed. We all have different ignorances, different blind spots, different values, different priorities. But I know the album we just wrote, Harmony, and we did a podcast last night, and I was explaining a little bit of this. That album, a lot for me, is about not only accepting or like tolerating differences with people and differences of opinion and differences of background, but embracing and celebrating differences as a means to my conscious expanding. At this point in my life, the thing I value the most is time and my consciousness expanding. I want to understand. It's not about me being understood anymore. I want to understand how people work, and I want to continuously be in a position to encourage connection. And yeah, so far this has been a nice platform for me to do so. And yeah, I've talked long enough. I'll be back. I think I might post a blog too. I wrote a blog the other day. Anyway, I'm shutting up, guys. Good night.